Hey everybody, Rebels of Cloud9. I've decided in my next project, I've been away building, I haven't been away building, I haven't built anything, basically, um, for a while. I haven't known what exactly to build. I found out what to build. I'm gonna build this little guy right here. The Dr.1 Revell 1/72nd scale. It's probably the most famous aircraft Fokker ever made. And it's certainly one of the most iconic images out of World War One. And this is actually not even mine. Um, this is actually my sister's. She bought this a few years ago, and she was really excited to build it. And she wanted me to teach her how to build. I tried teaching her how to build, and she just lost enthusiasm for the kit. So she she just had it sitting there on the shelf, and I told her, if you give it to me, I'll build it for you, and you'll at least have it done. And so she gave it to me to build for her gladly, and what ended up happening? I kept it on the shelf for 6 months or so, and so now I'm gonna get around to building it. And this kit is one of the ones that I've really wanted to build for a long time. Basic Modeling has done it. Oh, what's his name? I'm gonna try and say his name. It's like Plastico Forever. I think Waterloo built it. Did you? I know you built the 24th scale one, or whatever oddball scale that one was. But did you do the 72nd one too? I can't remember anymore. Anyways, I'm finally getting around to it. It seems to disappear from the hobby stores pretty quick. Whenever I find it. And let's take a look. Some of the parts are already cut out. Here's the fuselage here. It's in two halves. It's unfortunately in red plastic. For those of you unfamiliar, red and most colored plastics, aside from typical gray styrene, sometimes don't adhere well to paint, and red is one of those ones that it doesn't. Even some primers aren't that great on it. But this will be a quick fix with just some Tamiya primer. That'll be good. Here's a little bucket seat there in the back. It's very hard to show because the parts for this kit are so tiny. Now, I just had one of my good friends over here, and he was sitting here in my chair, making phone calls, playing with my tools, and I don't know what he did with. I know he was playing with my tweezers. Oh, great. Mm-hmm. Okay. So, oh, there they are. They're on the floor. Got them. Alright, I love these little things. Here's some floorboards. What are those? I don't know what that is. This is a control stick, and I'm pretty sure this is like a gas line or something. I don't really know what that's all about. And the pedals and stuff on there. Take a look at the sprues. There's two sprues that you get in here. And I noticed something really kind of cool about these. It's very nice, crisp, of course all red plastic. It looks pretty good. Nice and bright. So you don't have to paint it really if you don't want to. You could basically, if you're a beginner, put this entire kit together, use the decals, and then you have the Red Barons plane. You're away laughing. Basically, you could do that. I'm not going to paint it red. Here's the other sprue. So we've got the middle wings here. We've got the gauges, propeller, lower wings, the Spandau Maxim machine guns. There. And anything else? Nope, that's kind of about it. But I did notice something really funny about this, and I don't know exactly why. I have a suspicion, but when you look at the sprue, it says Fokker Dr.1 on the top, and it's lettered and displayed like Hasegawa. But when you go to this sprue, and if it was Hasegawa, it would make sense because Revell and Hasegawa trade kits all the time. Like the Revell He-111 is a Hasegawa kit. But then when you get onto this one, there's a bright big red Revell. I know most people say Revell, and that's probably how you're supposed to say it. But I'm sorry, guys. For those of you that are typing in there on the bottom, it's Revell. It's Revell. Rhymes with Bell. I've said Revell my entire life, and I can't switch it. So I'm sorry. Just getting that out of the way. So it says Revell here, and it's copyright 2003, and all the little licensing information that you need on there. But it looks like a Hasegawa sprue. So I don't know why, because I've seen a couple Hasegawa kits that are refurbished or reboxed into Hasegawa, but they look like Revell kits. So this is kind of just a little weird. I don't know why, but it's just, I don't know, it's kind of odd. So, and then the next thing here is the Decals. And you have Manfred von Richthofen, the Red Barons, and you have Lothar von Richthofen, his brother, so you get two markings in there. And they're pretty nice. They look really good. And there we go. I'm going to stuff this in here. There we go. This is a box I keep spare parts in. This is all mainly pilots, wheels, things that I need kind of in a hurry when I'm working on things. But it's an old geometry tool set that I used to have when I was in school. But I keep the parts in here. This bar held like rulers and things, and I use it for decals and things like that. What are these for? Oh, cool. That's for Jagdpanther. So, anyways, the one thing I don't like that Revell does is they've got fumbly instructions. They can't make a booklet. They make like this notepad, and they're very clumsy, and so much stuff to read, and all this junk gets me going a little bit. But let's get started. Now, I don't actually have the colors yet. I have to buy those paints for the whole plane. How I'm painting it, I'm not painting it the Red Barons, I'm not painting it as Lothar's. I'm painting it as someone whom I don't know the name of, because in the book he's not listed. It tells the squadron. Lothar did have a plane just like it, and this is what it would be. I'll use the box because it's a bigger picture. So, from about here is all white in the back. This is all white. And then in the front here is all blue. Very light blue. And then in the middle back here is a white. I believe it's a raven, but some people have said it's dove, so I don't know what to believe. That's how I'm going to paint this one, because everyone's done the Red Baron. Again, there's nothing wrong with painting the Red Baron, but I would like to try something different, because I actually have a couple of Red Baron models just up above me in 32nd scale, so I'd like to do something different and try it out. I don't have the paints yet. I'm going to get them on Monday, hopefully, and they're going to be I'm going to use Tamiya gloss colors. Only... Whoa, what was that? Had a fly just right down in front of me there. Turn that down a bit. Okay. I'm using gloss paints because Tamiya, for some reason, only makes this blue in a gloss color in their acrylics. I like their acrylics because they're easy to airbrush. And so if I also use them in gloss colors, the decals will apply better. And then all I have to do is apply a Tamiya flat coat on top, and that'll be done, and I can do weathering and things like that. So that's the reason why I'm doing that. And let's open up the clunky instructions. Okay, I will try and bend this thusly. Okay. F. F is for ochre brown matte. Well, the closest thing to ochre brown is, I don't really know, and I'm not going to bother to go and look and figure out what exactly ochre brown would look like in Revell colors. I'm just going to paint it. More of a canvasy color. I don't need the box anyways. Let's see, what do I have for ochre? Desert yellow. What is the paint I want? I don't even think I have it. Oh. Wooden deck tan. This is for ships. Tamiya made this for their new Yamato when it came out. Let's use that. I've never used this paint before. I'm quite curious to see what it's like. I have to repaint all of these parts. One thing I want to do first is take a little bit plasticine here, warm it up a bit, place that there, okay, there, and there. So now, there. Now I can paint those parts easier. And I might need a bit of thinner on this one, actually. It looks like it was used. I got these as a gift from a friend who was actually here. His brother was like very, very interested in building and painting figures, and he kind of gave up on it. So he said, "Do you want some Tamiya paints?" Oh, of course I do. Actually, you know what? It's not good for airbrushing. It's perfect for hand painting, hand brushing. Let's have at it. And oh, come on. Of course. The tissue is right underneath the tripod leg. I'm so relieved about today. Today is a good day to do modeling. Today is my day to relax because I've been working very, very hard with everybody else. And we finally have the project done. And it's going to be installed on Monday. It is Saturday. And when that's done, I'll get to relax just a little bit more, maybe, before we get to the next project. So, it's going on pretty thick, which is what I want. So, this is wooden floorboards here. And what I'm going to do when those are dry, and to the entire canvas, I'm going to add a brown wash on it. And that'll look really, really spiffy. Again, I'm really sorry. This is going to be a hard one for me to record compared to like the Enterprise, because the Enterprise was so big, and this is just an itty bitty little thing. But this is a very lovely color. I really like this. I can't remember what color I used in here. I know it was Tamiya something. I think it was Desert Yellow. But this one looks much more appealing. It's kind of got a canvasy feel to it, like used canvas. Let's use a bigger brush so I don't have to spend 5 years painting this. So yeah, like there's all these cables and things in here, and they look fantastic on the model. But you're not gonna see that. You know how that is, right? This is one of those few models. I get that question asked quite often from people. They say, you know, like, your model looks good, but it would look better if you put a wash in it or you painted the dials and stuff. And it's a 72nd scale kit. To be honest, when you're doing that in like 72nd scale, unless you're using a vacuum formed canopy, even then, having the windows open, and then even then, you're still not going to see it, all of it, because it's 72nd. You put the windows on top of it, and then you really can't see it. It's all kind of all gone, because it's just a tiny little bubble. And I don't mind people that go ahead and detail all that to each their own. But for me personally, I'm not going to see it. I'm going to be the one that's enjoying the model, so I don't paint it. So this one is a little bit different because you are going to see inside of here. So I might invest in some etched seat belts, but I don't know. I don't know if I really want to go that far, but it would look nice. This is a very nice color. This XF78 wooden deck tan. My dad was looking for something like this to use in on his Bismarck model, and I think I can quite happily recommend this paint to him. No, that's not it. This one here. I'm painting this bar here. This is the lower wing. It fits in like this. And I don't know if you're going to see it or not, like if you can see that in the cockpit, but I'm not going to take the chance, you know? And this is such thick paint because I didn't add any thinner to it. It's actually pretty good. So what color were the chairs? I have to look that up. I have to look up a bunch of stuff on this thing. I have books about it, so I'm not going to be at much of a loss for finding that out. But it looks good. The interior detail inside of the kit is really nice. I really, really like it. It's kind of a shame if you're putting like a figure inside of it, because it's all going to be hidden. Then again, I think a figure inside would be just a bunch of great detail, or adding more character to your model. Very, very nice kit. I'm gonna go and I have to exchange my water pot here. I have to go get that book about the DR1. I just remembered I had one on it, and so I'm gonna go do that. And that's kind of as far as I've got. I'm gonna paint some more. I'm gonna paint the chairs and stuff, and then when I get to doing the wash, I'll show you guys that. So that's it from me for right now. Rebels at Cloud 9, and I'll see you guys in the next video.